All right, Shalom, Yasharala, Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of their millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of the tabernacles of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, and wherever you may be, to you I say, Shalom, Yasharala, Shalom. All right, so welcome back into my little studio here. So there were some videos that I saw the other day. I think I tried to watch them the other night, but I faded out. So I thought about them now. So I went back and I think I watched. There was one with the Joe Rogan. As always, Joe Rogan always talking about some interesting things there, but ain't really much to get into with his little podcast thing there. But then there's another video which I haven't watched yet. I think they're from I don't even know his name, but the guy from Redacted. Okay, so when I finish this, I'm probably gonna go and watch that video to see if I can pull anything from that one. But this one is the one that I did actually get a chance to watch. And then I watched it again, not so long, a few minutes ago. And we don't have a real direction with this. This is an interesting clips here. And we're just gonna randomly grab some scriptures. Excuse me, dealing with the chariots. I really don't know what we're gonna grab. Just whatever comes to mind. We just roll with the spirit off of that. But so let's just play the video. Very interesting video. Let's play it.
Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. You've got the Cousins brother.
Oh, and this is from the guy Third Phase of the Moon. I've talked about him before. Oh yeah, I was thinking about what I was about to say. Yeah, bear with the first portion here because it's going to be in Spanish, or whatever, and then the guy from Third Phase of the Moon is actually going to come in and talk about the things, and so we may hit the pause and play depending on how the spirit flows. But yeah, so really it's all the same. It's still going to be basically going to be the same footage back to back, but it's going to be it's going to be the original footage, and then you're going to hear the guy from Third Phase of the Moon speak, and then as the spirit allows, we'll hop in there. Okay.
And we've got incredibly clear UFO videos for you tonight that will boggle your mind. Now let's watch the first video coming in.
Ay, 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 me paro de mi asiento en este momento por lo interesante que es este video que le está dando la vuelta a la web. Imagínese usted este chamacón, este chofer que va en el interior de su automóvil. Esto al parecer sucedió en una parte de Sao Paulo, Brasil, en donde por primera vez el que graba sí hace algo. Tal es el caso, lo repito, de este conductor que se da cuenta de que allá en el cielo hay un ovni, un platillo volador, tal como lo estamos viendo en este momento. Y él no solamente se conforma con sacar su celular y comenzar a grabar, porque dijo, no señores, esto no me lo van a creer si ya lo estoy grabando, si me está sucediendo. Arranca el carro y empieza a seguir a este platillo volador. Ojo, revíselo bien, esto no se trata de un dron, es completamente diferente. Teníamos bastantes años que los platillos voladores no se grababan, esta característica forma discoidal, no señores, han salido los ovnis cigarro, han salido los ovnis triangulares.
Now, what I will say is I'm not here to say, yeah, 100%, yeah, this is true, this is real, okay? But I'm also not here to say, nah, this is fake, especially when you're dealing with the second one. The second one is very, very interesting. I'm not sold on the second one, but, like I said, I'm not here to determine whether this is real or false because at the end of the day, according to the scriptures, they are real. I'm just picking up in particular these footages. Now, the first one, it's kind of got me, I can kind of believe it, but, I can't say 100% sure. But the second one is like, okay. And the second one also is interesting because it's supposedly, like a link to the earthquake that just happened there. So, let's get to it.
Esta ocasión el conductor dijo, claro que lo voy a seguir y hasta donde puede. Vea nada más cómo no se queda conforme y dice, vamos, métele la pata al acelerador y va siguiendo a este objeto volador no identificado.
Bear with me. Yeah, I can do this in the studio.
Por supuesto, no sabemos con qué intenciones vengan. ¿Será acaso que estamos a nada de hacer ese tan esperado contacto? ¿Por qué no se presentan de una vez? Pero un fuerte aplauso y un gran reconocimiento.
See how it looks?
A este jovenazo que en verdad se la rifó.
Try to get it.
Right, we're going to roll this once again. We want to get your thoughts in this live premiere right here at Third Phase of Moon. Good to be with everybody from around the world. And we're looking at something that when we first looked at this video just moments ago, we were kind of stunned. We don't see any kind of manipulation. This is one of those videos that are almost too good to be true, but it is. In my opinion, we're looking at authentic, crazy footage right now. Man really does a good job while driving and capturing the phenomenon here.
In which he may not even be the one driving, but I get the man's point. Because ain't no way he pulled a Fast and Furious.
Actually, he's managing to get a pretty good focus. We're going to pull up one of the clearest images of this sequence here in just a moment.
And when he gets, it will zoom in as it does.
All right, Brent, do you got that file here? Yeah, Blake, let's just pull up that frame right now. We're going to get a close-up of this. This is badass footage of the phenomenon. Here it is. Look at this thing. It's a clear, classic UFO, silver disc, or whatever you want to call it. It's there. This is real. There's no AI going on here, no CGI. This is, again, authentic footage. What are we looking at here?
Yeah, like they would call them flying saucers, because of the way they looked. Right? Some look like a sombrero, right?
People. Okay, we're going to get a close-up. I zoomed it up about 200%. Again, he gets a really good close-up. Look at this thing.
Let me go back. Does it look like it's spinning to y'all? Let me see here. I didn't think about that before. Let me see if I can tell if it's like if it's spinning in a circle or not, which doesn't really matter, but I don't know. It's hard to tell if it is or not.
All right, guys. Multiple angles. He continues to film. That's what I like about this one. He wanted to get in close proximity, and he did the best he could. It's almost something straight out of the movies. This is an action chase scene, and he's managing the impossible, capturing the phenomenon right there. What is this? This is some unidentified flying object that we've been talking about for the past 15, 17 years now. This is some of the best footage I've seen in years. The hues of color seemingly changes from like purple to green and red.
Which is interesting because we know the Chariots do that. Right? They have the lights and whatnot. Oh, ooh wee. Hold on. See, I was trying to ooh. I was trying to wait. Man. Oh man. Well, that's hold on. See, because when it mentions the colors and things of that nature, I was trying to wait for descriptions until we got through the videos. Let me see if we can just find because it talks about the chariot removing from the front of the camp. Just bear with me if I get down here. Is this chapter? I'm not sure if it's this chapter or because it probably just if this chapter I'm overlooking. As a matter of fact, let's see if we can. What did it actually say? Lights. Can't remember. It's been a while since I read it. Just bear with me. Not those lights. Oh, let's get by the book. Okay, so there's no one in. If I'm correct, okay. Yeah, here we go. I was probably just overlooking it. Yep. Exodus 14:18, and the Egyptians shall know that I am Yahweh when I have gotten me honor upon Pharaoh, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen, and the angel of the power, which went before the camp of Israel, which we know, because Paul breaks this down in Corinthians. Okay, that same chariot, that spaceship that was guiding them. All right, let me get this real quick so we can tie it together. As a matter of fact, let me get that too since I mentioned it, because we are talking about chariot scriptures, right? All right. Moreover, brethren, I would not that you should be ignorant how that all our fathers were under the cloud. Cloud's talking about the spaceship, and all passed through the sea, which is what we're reading now, and were all baptized into Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and that all eat the same spiritual meat, and that all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Hamashiach. See? Now we go over here to Exodus. As a matter of fact, we just back up because it's actually in the previous chapter, Exodus 13. And at the bottom it tells us, and Yahweh went before them by day in a pillar of cloud to lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire, to give them light, and to go by day and night. He took not away the pillar of cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people. Okay, so we go back to Exodus 14:18. Now it says, and the Egyptians shall know that I am Yahweh when I have gotten me honor upon Pharaoh and his chariots and upon his horsemen. And the angel of the power which went before the camp of Israel removed and went behind them, and the pillar of the cloud went from before their face and stood behind them. You see that pillar of cloud? All right, we just read in Corinthians that was Yahweh that was guiding us, leading us with that pillar of fire by day, pillar of fire by night. It mentions Yahweh in the previous chapter because all things go back to him. Okay, all power, all praise, honor, and glory goes back to the Heavenly Father Yahweh. Even Yahweh wouldn't have power had it not been given to him from the Heavenly Father Yahweh. Okay, so always keep that in mind. And the angel of the power which went before the camp of Israel removed and went behind them, and the pillar of cloud went from before their face and stood behind them. And it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel. Now we've all experienced nighttime. You got the sun in the daytime. At that nighttime you got the moon and the stars, and it gives off this what they call twilight, right? But we also have street lights and car lights and lanterns and flashlights and all these things. So it's never really dark. Then you even have all these city buildings and houses, people that have lights on at night, so that'll give a certain illumination at nighttime. Okay, but you have to think about it. In ancient days, when it was nighttime, it was nighttime. If you didn't have a lantern or a torch, it was dark. Okay, and we're talking about being in the desert wilderness. This is not the modern day. There are no car lights. Okay, there's no helicopters coming by. Sometimes they have their searchlights on and stuff like that. All right, there's no street lights. We walk in straight darkness. Okay, now there was a such thing as torches and lanterns, but we didn't have any. The release scriptures don't mention that. Okay, our light was up in the sky, and it came between the camp of the Egyptians and the camp of Israel, and it was a cloud and darkness to them, but it gave light by night to these, so that the one came not near the other all the night. So, of course, the chariots have lights on them, and we just read it. Okay, let's see what it says in one of my favorite versions here in the AMP, the AM Pizzle. Let's see what it says here. 1920. The angel of God, who had been going in front of the camp of Israel, moved and went behind them. The pillar of the cloud moved from in front and stood behind them, which it had to be huge, because the Pharaoh and his army were close enough to at least hear us. Okay, or maybe we had cattle and they could smell the cattle. Because that stuff, if you ever been on a farm, or if you ever been in a country where there's a dead animal in the woods, hey, that hits you down the road. Okay, and you don't really know exactly where the animal is, but it's in the air. So if they were even close to us, they can possibly, hear us, or maybe dust is flying on them. So this chariot had to be huge, because it had to be a great separation between the Israelites. And another point to make off of that is also because when we crossed the sea, all right, when the waters were parted, there had to be a great distance. Otherwise, they'd have been like right there on our tails, and maybe possibly some of them would have gotten through, if not all of them. But there was a great enough distance between us that we could get out of the dry land of the sea before the waters came back and crushed them while they were in the midst of it. So you just kind of have to visualize to really get what I'm saying here. This had to be a huge chariot to keep that space. All right. And they were in utter darkness. We had light. So it came between the camp of Egypt and the camp of Israel. It was a cloud along with darkness, even by day to the Egyptians, but it gave light by night to the Israelites. So one army did not come near the other all night. So there you go. See? All right, baby Phil. Yapa. Let's go back. Oh, that's the original video. I was like, what is this? I don't need that. Let's play. Let's take my ticker. I'm not sure. Did he stop talking or let me go back. I'm not sure what happened to the audio here. Bear with me. Let me try to stop it. Let me pause it real quick. Okay, so I thought my ticker was ticking, but it wasn't. So I'm not really sure what was cut out, what was in. Only thing I could do is rerun back and play, some of this for you. Yeah, because the last thing when we were reading this here, Zechariah 6:1 says, "Now again I looked up, and 4 chariots were coming out from between 2 mountains, and the mountains were mountains of firm, immovable bronze, divine judgment." Okay. We read it in NLT. We also read it in the KJV. So Salakia, you know how it is when you get interrupted, man. Throws your spirit off, man. So, yep, I saw 4 chariots coming between 2 bronze mountains. All right. In the KJV, looked and behold, there came 4 chariots out from between 2 mountains, and the mountains were mountains of brass. All right. So these talking about spaceships, man. These mountains. All right. So they're not talking about actual mountains or flying mountains. These are talking about so-called spaceships, man. All right. So I'll just play some more of this video for you again. Yeah.
Especially if this is propaganda coming out of Russia. I'm still, again, on the fence, but some of these things, like this implosion underneath the surface of the water and this transmedium effect, is very interesting. Yeah, you can see it's off at quite some distance, too, as it starts to submerge underneath the ocean there. Everything looks fairly legit, and it seems like the ship pulls in a little closer and gets a better vantage point, and then it plunges right there. I do like this photo because the effects, everything looks legitimate. And again, this whirlpool effect is pretty curious. All right, we're getting some more updates. Tsunami alert. Not an alert, a warning going on in Hawaii. The whole state is on alert. Oh, the warning is strong. Apparently, an 8.7 earthquake just struck off the coast of Russia, and it's.
Yeah, what I was mentioning, because I was thinking that he was linking up that earthquake that just happened in Russia with this, because this was supposed to be from off the coast of Russia as well. But he was actually talking about this when the alert came in on the news. So these two things are linked up. But yeah, this video is very interesting.
Its way towards Hawaii at 500 miles an hour really at this moment. Expected to arrive in approximately about 2 hours from now. So we're keeping our eyes peeled of what's really going to go down in Hawaii, but we're getting some reports live right there from the state. Let's just listen to what's going on in the state of Hawaii, and we're going to chime in. Brent?
And so yeah, I don't have to play that again. I'm not sure if I got this video in here, because I actually forgot this was in there. So I'll play this back just in case we didn't get this either. Because I forgot this clip was in there, and I will play this one.
Wild ride, watch.
So you can see a smaller orb interacting with a larger orb, and these are pretty much chariots, man.
Okay, we got a sky watcher at night capturing once again the phenomenon, but look at the interaction right there.
It's almost like the one chariot.
Little enhancement, you see.
Like brief
involvement
the other one
with one
and then went off again.
One another. These orbs, they're communicating with each other.
See? And brothers I've seen, in particular myself, saw 3 chariots, in line behind one another, kind of fading in and fading out with their lights. Just like we mentioned before, all right, because these chariots have lights on them. They're pretty much, flicker from different colors, all right? Kind of strobing,
like it makes contact again, and it seems to, they made some sort of conversation and says, I got you, and that thing just took off. Incredible display of the phenomenon right now as we're watching this with you in pretty much real time. This is fantastic footage right here. Okay, something just came in moments ago, and we wanted to share it with you. This is kind of breaking news. Something unusual was captured by the Russians. And Brent's got the exact date, but look at these photographs that have just come in, apparently declassified.
Interesting times, man. Interesting times that we're in. And we know the Chariots out there. We know these are our brothers of the heavenly realm. Okay, as we mentioned before, Revelation 19, Revelation 22, Deuteronomy 33, verses 1 and 2. Okay, we know these are our brothers of the heavenly realm, man. All right, these ain't no big-headed aliens, nothing like that, or some grays and other kind of species. Esau so deep with his lies, he made a whole book of so-called species of aliens. Okay, now for the those that don't understand, the word alien is in the Bible, but it just means strangers. Okay, so when you see aliens in the Bible, it's not talking about space people, unless you're talking about the angels, man. Okay, these are the angels. All right. And because let's try to get one more. Matter of fact, let's get this one because I was going to hit what was in Second Esdras, but instead of doing that, let's do this and get the account with David where it mentions the mulberry trees to get one more scripture and shit because I think we lost some footage there because the interruption. We lost a little bit, but it's okay. But give me a second though because it's kind of hot here. All right, so you see the count here. Also in Chronicles, as you see. So, First Chronicles 14:14. Therefore David inquired again of the Most High, and the Most High said unto him, Go not up after them, turn away from them, and come upon them over against the mulberry trees. And it shall be when thou shalt hear a sound of going in the tops of the mulberry trees, that then thou shalt go out to battle, for the Most High is going forth before thee to smite the host of the Philistines, because those were the angels, right, making a sound of the bottom of their chariots hitting the top of the trees, right? I probably hear the rustling of leaves and cracking of the, maybe some branches were breaking, maybe the big limbs were being bent over because the chariots ain't gonna break, they're not even gonna scratch, right? As a matter of fact, let's pull the scripture up here and grab the NLT. When you hear a sound like marching feet, woo, in the tops of the poplar trees, go out and attack. You see, marching feet, because now the angels aren't actually marching in midair on top of the trees like some ninjas or whatever. All right, but these are an army. Okay, these are the army of the Lord, and the captain of that host of the army, or the host. I think I said it right. I think a mouthful, didn't I? The captain of the Lord's army. All right, also known as the host. All right, or host armies, host meaning armies, that is. The captain of that army is Yahushua, man. Okay, so marching feet in troop in the tops of the poplar trees, go out and attack. That will be the signal that the Most High is moving ahead of you to strike down the Philistine army, because the angels are sent for those types of missions sometimes. All right, so David did. So David did what the Most High commanded, and they struck down the Philistine army all the way from Gibeon to Gezer. All right, let's get one more in the AP. Oh, sorry, I forgot I was already there. It shall be when you hear the sound of a marching in the tops of the balsam trees, then you shall go out to battle, for the Most High is going out before you to strike the Philistine army. As a matter of fact, let me get one more scripture. Actually, there be more. I believe it's in Kings. It might actually be also in Chronicles. More with us. The count with Elisha and his servant. When Elisha's servant woke him up from the army, that was near. Yep, right here. Chronicles, 2 Chronicles 32 and 5. Also, he strengthened himself, and built up all the wall that was broken, and raised it up to the towers, and another wall without, and repaired Milo in the city of David, and made darts and shields in abundance. And he set captains of war over the people, and gathered them together to him in the street of the gate of the city, and spake comfortably to them, saying, Be strong and courageous, be not afraid, nor dismayed for the king of Assyria, nor for all the multitude that is with him. For there be more with us than with him. See, with him it is an arm of flesh, but with us is Yahweh our power to help us and to fight our battles. And the people rested themselves upon the words of Hezekiah, king of Judah. Okay. Now I believe there's another portion when he says he opens a young man's eyes. Let's see if it's further down or up. Is this it? No, I don't think that's it. Let me see if I can punch that one up. I always want to say it was in the... Oh, wait, not pun, but open. I think he says the young man's eyes. If you don't get it right, the blue is not going to put it up anyways. That's it right there. 2 Kings 6. All right. Elisha prayed, oh, Yahweh, open his eyes and let him see. Yahweh opened the young... Let me go back up. All right. So we can get the context on this. So when the servant of the man of God got up early the next morning and went outside, there were troops, horses, and chariots everywhere. These are talking about the actual people, actual animals, and the actual two-wheeled chariots that, pulled by the horses and things of that nature. Oh, sir, what will we do now? The young man cried to Elisha. Don't be afraid, Elisha told him, for there are more on our side than on theirs. Then Elisha prayed, oh, Yahweh, open his eyes and let him see. Yahweh opened the young man's eyes, and when he looked up, he saw that the hillside around Elisha was filled with horses and chariots of fire. Because these are not talking about flying horses on fire, bone horses on fire. These are talking about the chariots, man, the so-called spaceships. You see? And there you go. Let's get the KJV. All right. Same thing there. Okay. The mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha. Okay. Let me end with this one. Let's end with this one. Zechariah 5. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then he said unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side, according to it. And what the scriptures say, he that be found with the man in his hand shall be surely put to death. When the Lord returns, we're going to be found in Esau's hands, because he's never going to let us go. So he's going to be put to death. Right? For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side, according to it. And everyone that sweareth shall be cut off, as on that side, according to it. Let's read it in another version. I looked up again and saw a scroll flying through the air. What do you see? The angel asked. I see a flying scroll, I replied. It appears to be about 30 feet long and 15 feet wide, which is huge, man. Okay. And then, like they try to show you in the ID4 movie, that's pretty much what they showed you there. 30 feet long. All right. Well, maybe those vehicles weren't that big. 30 feet. They definitely weren't. But you still get the idea though. All right. But 30 feet long. Okay, that's pretty big, and 15 feet wide. All right, which goes to show you it's not like a full circular shape. All right, but it did say a flying roll, right? Okay, it's more ovalistic or cigar shaped, like they talk about that, which Esau has seen these things. So the scriptures is on point, man. Then he said to me, this scroll contains the curse that is going out over the entire land. One side of the scroll says that those who steal will be banished from the land. The other side says that those who swear falsely will be banished from the land. All right, let's get the MP. I saw a flying scroll in the air. And the angel said to me, what do you see? And I answered, I see a flying scroll. Its length is 20 cubits, 30 feet, and its width is 10 cubits, 15 feet. Then he said to me, this is the curse that is going out over the face of the whole land. For everyone who steals will be cut off according to the writing on one side, and everyone who swears oaths falsely shall be cut off according to the writing on the other side. All right, I will send the curse out, declares Yahweh of hosts, and it will enter the house of the thief and the house of the one who swears falsely by my name. And it will spend the night in that house and consume it, both its timber and stone. And pretty much that's Esau, man. They claim to be the people, the Lord's people, but they do everything opposite of the Bible, and they don't believe in the Bible. They follow the Babylonian Talmud. All right, and many other things that we add on to that, but we'll get into a whole other talking lesson there. All right. Hey, but it says you got to first bind a strong man, right? Well, yeah, I just wanted to share that because I saw these videos the other day, man. So, and like I said, the one from the Joe Rogan podcast, we're gonna have to get into. But this was very interesting. I want to talk about it. And I'm about to go sit down and watch one more video there because
This, my God, people, if this isn't a UFO,
watch
I don't know what it is.
one more video because I'm not sure what's in that one. It's from the redacted guy, so I want to see exactly what he's talking about. It's like another 15, 13, maybe 14, 15-minute video. So we'll see what's in that. If the spirit has moved something down, we'll talk about it. But hey, for now, hey, we know what times we're in, and we know what the chariots are about. All right, so Lord, will you edify to next thing Yahshua? We're gonna say Shalom.
Okay, we got a sky watcher at night capturing, once again, the phenomenon. But look at the interaction right there. Little enhancement. You see involvement with one another. These orbs, they're communicating with each other. Look at that, like it makes contact again, and it seems to, they made some sort of conversation that says, I got you, and that thing just took off. Incredible display of the phenomenon right now as we're watching this with you in pretty much real time. This is fantastic footage right here.